Hello, hello, hello. 73?
73.
Same age as David.
It doesn't. It's not. It doesn't hold the
Because
same weight
Dustin ain't here.
Same age as David.
But we have another Soldier Face Pony Boy. Is that what it was called? Soldier Face Pony Boy? Is that what Biden called soldiers or something?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. We have a guest, TJ Cheezum.
Hey,
Got a good episode for you. Episode 73.
That'd make
We
a good
back.
t-shirt.
Yeah. Here we go. Calm down. It's fine. Ooh, that was good. I'm like a DJ.
Yeah, that's what.
At what point do we redo the theme song?
DJ off of Wish List.
That could be. That's a discussion we have. I would like from the ground up, like
From the
theme.
ground up.
Like
Not that one.
I mean, like a written out theme song, like specifically.
We could do it. It just takes a lot of work, so we can't do it. We could do
We
it.
could outsource it.
Well, yeah. I don't know how to start that.
I don't know. I think an intro would be really cool if it was like the intro was like just 45 seconds to a minute of just like different clips throughout all of our episodes.
Clips. It has to. You have to go through the Instagram and pick clips off from their famous because you can't go through. We have.
I need you to
so many hours of recordings.
Do it, Cameron.
We've got like.
I need you to commit.
You may commit. All
commit.
Right. Anyways, if you're tuning on YouTube, you are going to see that we have another guy on the podcast. If we're doing one thing well, let's bring in new people
do guests.
every week. Dude, we are piling them up.
Yeah, man.
I mean, we are not leaving you comfortless.
Go full on list at this point.
Yeah,
Eventually, you'll actually be legit.
What has to happen for us to be legit?
Keep doing what you're doing, but do it better.
He's here.
Do more better.
He's here all week, folks. 2 weeks in a row.
Do gooder.
Do gooder. Anyways, this is TJ. He goes to my church, and he's been going for 6 years. He's a pretty good dude. And I've been meaning to get him on for a while. He's actually sending some emails. So we'll get into some of his stuff tonight. We'll talk about his story. And yeah, it's good. So before we get into all that, how you been, David?
Good, man. Just been.
You made it back from the wedding?
Yeah, we made it back. We made it back in decent time. Was taking naps on the way home.
That's good.
In the driver's seat. And
They say road naps hit different when you're the one driving.
yeah, man. Listen,
it.
I'm a pro at this point. Just give me a little. I'm good for another mile and a half. You know what I mean? So, no, we did pull over once, so I could take like 15 minutes to just kind of walk around and then sit and chill. There was like
after Nikki's feminism episode, she didn't want to take the wheel. She's like, "No, David, you drive the whole way."
There you go. Actually, it wouldn't have been much help because she too was just falling asleep, just passed out. It was a tiring weekend, but it was fun. It was a good weekend.
Harrison was tiring.
He always
exhausted us,
man. But no, it was a good time. We made it back in good time. And then just been working and studying up for this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, this will come out after the weekend, though.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Oh, bro, dude, you preach so good.
You preach so good as well.
Man.
Predictions. I think 4 got saved after the conclusion of your message.
Oh, dude, that's the worst. That's the worst
No
thing.
pressure. No pressure.
I know. What are you doing to me?
Don't be like, I see that hand when there's nothing coming up.
Yeah, you really
Oh, that's right. Bro, you better
Don't
believe
If
it.
you've ever doubted your salvation, raise your hand.
I need 4. I need 4 hands.
The Holy Spirit's telling me 4 somewhere.
Yes.
Someone with an S in their name, an
We
EA.
start doing like that fake like medium stuff.
Yeah.
Steve? Is there Steve here? Does anybody here know a Steve? No.
You're going to slip a couple dollars to some like 4 people before the service.
No doubt. No. Speaking of which, though, I did lead a young man to the Lord on Wednesday. His name was
Amen.
Chase.
Wonderful.
Yeah, his name was Chase. Sat down, went through the typical you think you're a good person? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, let me change your mind.
Psych.
And then, but no, it and he got saved Wednesday. Then he came back Sunday. Said he's been enjoying church. Says he wants to keep on. And I'm like, man, you keep coming, dude.
Awesome.
We'll make sure you make friends and everything.
You know Khalil, the one boy who's been coming with Kira and Chris.
Yeah.
The one tall boy. Kira is 14, and her brother. That's Khalil's her brother. He came to VBS and everything, but I was talking about VBS and he just wasn't getting it. And like he raised his hand, I just wasn't getting it. Multiple times, just raised his hand for salvation. He's a teenager. Just wasn't like talk to him. No, I'm not a sinner. Well, have you ever stole? Yeah. Within your sinner? I don't think so. Okay, well, but Sunday he got saved on the way home in the van.
Is that the one you said they've been like 10 weeks in a row or something like that?
He hasn't been 10 weeks in a row, but the other teenager had. But he is off and on, but he got saved on the way home. So
that's too cool.
Yeah. So yeah, cool, good stuff.
Sweet deal, man.
What else is going on? Let's see. What's been happening? Hunting season is coming up. Anyways, none of that matters.
I have to give a shout out to someone who listens to the podcast. I told a story about her on an earlier episode, but I didn't say names for reasons. I didn't want to give out personal information where they live and stuff like that.
Just give it out.
So, after being confronted about it, Abigail, this is your shout out.
Abigail who?
Easter.
Social security
Easter.
number.
What was the story?
About a drunk guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't want to give up too much information, and people try to like put together where they live and stuff like that.
Abigail single?
She is.
Yeah, that's why she wants a shout out.
Probably. Abigail.
Yeah.
Nope. Cutting it out.
Get out of here. You're gone. Yeah, that's how it happens. So, anyways, you were talking about, I have some videos or some good reels this week. So what we'll do is we'll go through some reels. I don't have any emails, but we're going to go through these reels and we'll laugh and then we'll get into your story. Okay. All right. Hopefully this will be quicker than last time. Oh yeah. Sorry guys for some of these.
Cameron watches bad videos.
No, I don't. Some of these reels we've been putting on, they have a cuss word or two in them, and in the moment we say, "Oh wait, cut that."
Yeah, what's a cuss word or two?
But then we've been forgetting to go back and cut it.
We have been forgetting though. That
the
is
last
true.
2 episodes. So I apologize.
So like
at the beginning of the day, it's in there, and at the end of the day, it's not because I get a text.
the first time it happened, Cameron got a text.
Yeah.
And then Cameron calls me and goes, "So this is a thing that happened." So I was like, "Oh!" So I had to pull the YouTube video down, fix it, put it back up. The second time, I don't even remember there being a word. Like, I don't remember it at all. So when I was editing the video, I was like, I edited 1 or 2 things, and then I was like, all right, we're good. Throw it out there. It was getting late, and I wanted to go to bed. So I threw it out there. Wake up in the morning. I'm going through my routine of getting ready for work and all that stuff.
Messages,
Yeah, and I look at my phone.
It sounds like wind chimes with so many messages.
Text from Cameron. So I think there might have been a word.
That's today, right?
Yeah, I think
I'm laying in bed last night thinking one of those reels had an allusion to a cuss word in it.
Yeah, like honestly, the word wasn't said, but it was very blatant and clear what the word was.
I think I'm familiar with this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I look at my phone as I'm getting ready to walk out the door for work, and it's just text from Cameron. Pretty sure one of those videos had a word in it, but since we already posted, I'm going to listen to it today, and I'll let you know what I find. And I was like, sure. By the time I got to Wilmington, Cameron's like, yeah, so we're going to have to...
Because we do these episodes, like we did those episodes a week. This one was 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
And we're running around, so I don't have time to listen back to download it. I don't listen to it until it's uploaded unless I know there's something to be cut, and I didn't think there was. But that was 2 weeks ago. So, sorry guys. Sorry.
Then, this is now.
We're just building character.
Yeah, next Dustin's just going to start saying them.
Yeah. So have you seen
That way he's already been caught. And caught out.
have you seen, so basically our reels are going to be about like mega church stuff that's going on. This is a Halloween. How's it, Halloween or Halloween?
Is this the Holy Note?
Yeah, well, we're going to start doing the Holy Note guy.
Bro.
Dude, he is the funniest.
Dustin told me about this, and it's
So-
my favorite YouTube channel.
it is
right
so
I
funny.
meant to follow up on that because even just the mention in the podcast was
Yeah,
pretty
so
funny.
this guy goes,
now. Dude.
down low
all right,
and
so
worship.
You
he
need
just
any more
shows
chocolate
up.
milk?
Here he goes.
It's the Lord's Day. I got my Bible. I'm ready to hear the word.
An alternative telling of Matthew 4, 1-11. The tempter took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. And he said to him,
All these I will give you, if you will fall down and worship me.
but Jesus answered,
Woe to you, tempter, for you have made me an offer I cannot refuse.
and then Jesus, the Son of God, bowed his head down low and worshiped.
It's the Lord's
So
Day. I
these
got my
videos
Dude.
are the best. So he's got two intros. One is him sitting down in like a church pew, and he's like, "I got my Bible. It's the Lord's Day," and he opens up his Bible. He plays a clips from some ridiculous church service, and then he's just nope, and then he leaves. The other one is the same thing, like
Right.
but he's getting ready to walk out his front door, plays a clip, and I binged
I know.
so
Watch, I'm
many
gonna,
of
I'm going to
these.
hit another one here. Ready?
Everybody's not going to heaven. Correct. Because God gave everybody choice. People don't go to hell for sin. Jesus already paid for that. They go to hell for unbelief.
I think that the issue of
That's not even
Oh, that was
funny.
it. That was him. Like seriously.
Yeah.
it's the Lord's Day. I got my Bible. I'm ready to hear the word.
Shalabashirabashir.
It's the Lord's Day. I got
Speaking in tongues. Shalaba, shalaba.
It sounds like a diesel trying to start.
What is this one? Here we go.
Bro.
the Lord's Day. I got my Bible. I'm ready to hear the word.
This guy kissing this girl in the head. There's a Pentecostal and the kids are falling over. They're just falling
Kids
over.
need to be under the Holy Ghost.
Who did they have a ghost,
You better join them.
a phantom?
You better
Hear that?
join them. He's kissing these people in the head and they're just flopping on the ground. Pentecostals. Watch this.
Fire! Fire!
Oh, dude, that's why you did that at the youth rally this past weekend. Nope. Mm-mm.
Lord's Day. I got my Bible.
Dude.
I'm ready to
Dude.
hear the word.
TJ, you had that was sort of a thing you've experienced, right?
It is.
Well, let's watch a few more and we'll go back to that.
Were you slain in the spirit?
We'll get
Hold
to
on,
that.
hold on. Oh, here's another one. I'm going to try to get this guy on here.
People have. It's the Lord's Day. I got my Bible. I'm ready to hear the word.
Sarah?
Yes, Mama.
The Lord told me there's someone that you are connected to. Like Tanya? Do you know somebody named Tanya? Starts with a T. Is it Tana?
She's on the phone with this person.
Tana is your mother? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mama.
And I saw her fall in front of you in seizure, and I saw her foaming out, and I saw the spirit of death coming to take her away. But the Lord says, if we pray and cancel it today, your mother shall live and testify the goodness of the Lord. Hallelujah. How's your mother's health?
My mom, she passed away in 2009.
It's the Lord's Day. I got my Bible.
Bro,
I'm ready to
that's so
Brutal.
man.
That's a cringe. That's
How
a
do you
pretty
how do you
bad
bounce
cringe.
back from that?
Dude, they have to say,
The call dropped.
I was. Yeah, what's that? Hello?
Hello?
Yep.
AT&T.
No,
Just
they
like-
have to take the. We were, like Benny Hinn said a week before the Middle East blew up, he literally prophesied that they were going to have everlasting peace in the next few weeks. It was like the total opposite, but what he says is something was happening. I just misread it. But we just misread it because we're fallible. But prophets in the Old Testament, if they got it wrong, it's like, you're not a prophet.
Yeah, like there was.
Stone him.
Yeah.
You get to die now. If you weren't watching, I had my hand up by my mouth like I was, yelling.
From the crowd.
Yeah. Hello.
You're a liar.
So, that's really good stuff. The Holy Nope.
Yeah.
Here's one more. Here's the one you like, David.
It's the Lord. Beautiful day. Got my Bible. I'm ready to go.
Lord, Jesus, who can turn your life around. Ooh, yeah.
Michael Jackson impersonator.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful day. Got my Bible.
This guy's
yeah. If you guys are looking for a quick laugh, and they're all like, well, not all of them, but most of the videos are under a minute.
Got my Bible. I'm ready to go.
And in the name of Jesus, I declare.
That's Kenneth Copeland.
It's just, as soon as he sees Kenneth Copeland.
It's the Lord's Day. I got my Bible. I'm ready to hear the word.
An alternative telling.
But no,
Yeah,
that's,
they're short videos and they're so funny.
Yeah, that's so good. I got this one. You have to see this. This is insane.
Everybody to church by the glades.
The Addams family.
I don't even know what to
It's
say.
the Addams family at a church. The whole staff is dressed up like the Addams family for Halloween.
Well,
And literally the whole church. It's all
they do the dance, right?
They do everything.
The famous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So watch. Here it is.
Everybody to church by the glades.
I don't even know what to say.
You worshipped so well.
Y'all did.
It sounded beautiful. Let me make a couple introductions here. My name is Morticia Adams. And this is my Uncle Fester.
No.
Come join the dysfunctional family. Hi, Cousin Ed. Cousin Ed. Let me ask you, is that a keratin treatment?
Rugged baby bumpy bumpy.
My choir is currently learning this.
All these girls dressed in these black dresses, sequence dancing, or whatever it's called. This is at the church. We haven't moved videos.
This a worship flash mob?
And you're confused. Welcome to the weirdest weekend of the year at CBG. I acknowledge the fact it's a little bit out of the norm, a little different, but we're having a little fun. We embrace the fun and the spooky of this season.
I saw this on the Holy Note
in a few moments if you're confused and wonder why. But I want to do a little study with you.
Dude, that is bogus. That is totally bogus.
Tell me you don't know how
the Lord.
Yeah, tell me you don't know how to have a spirit-filled service without telling me.
Isn't that song just a secular pop song?
It is.
Like,
So
that's not the Addams, right?
No. So there's a new Addams Family show that was on Netflix.
Oh.
And she in the new Addams Family show, she does a dance at a school dance or something like that to that song.
Oh.
And it was this crazy popular thing.
Right.
And
So,
now,
hey, the world's doing it. Let's bring it in.
yeah, man,
Do what works.
that's how I keep the doors open
So silly. There's another one with the Avengers. I'll do it next episode.
with Tony Stark.
Dude,
Oh
and
my
the guy
gosh.
the Iron Man gets lifted up on an I-beam.
And they're singing straight world songs. He's it's Iron Man.
all these churches are doing movie themed holiday stuff.
Iron Man. Iron Man is on a
movie
cross.
nights and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, not just when you say movie nights for the crowd, for people listening. It's not like they're watching a movie. No, the whole church, all the pastor, the staff, they're dressing up like these Lion King. We played some of it, I thought, on here.
Yeah, probably.
And they're dressing up like Lion King, and Simba's getting crucified for the sins of the animal kingdom. It's
it's so bad. It's so bad.
Golly.
Yeah.
I don't know how people take it seriously.
I was just looking for a video. I wasn't just scrolling my phone. I got a video of a commercial of the guys for no charge and no shipping, we'll send you this holy water that'll heal all this kind of stuff. It was a commercial in the morning. I was watching the news.
Dude, hey, did you know you can go on Amazon and buy holy water?
How much is that going for now?
I don't have my phone on me, but
TJ, check that for us.
Let's make it happen.
See what we got here.
Yeah, you can go on Amazon and buy a case of holy water. I want to buy it. Yeah, bottled holy water. I want to buy it and then put that in my fridge so when we have people over for dinner.
No joke. No. No laugh in your voice or face. Just here's some holy water.
Like, hey, do you want some water? Regular water, or you want like Dasani, or do you want holy water?
Or you can get right here 40-piece holy water bottles, 2 ounces each for $26.99.
See,
Okay, what constitutes holy water?
A priest blesses it.
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
So
like
not a preacher, a priest.
Priest has to go through and bless all those waters.
Yeah.
Well, they can bless entire lots of waters.
They can.
Like we used to get, and I'll talk about
time
this
efficiency.
Later.
Okay, I like this.
We'd get all these.
Okay,
you were the water boy.
I wasn't an athlete.
You were
the altar boys and the water boys.
Yeah, you were Catholic water boy.
We would get. This is more of a military thing, but we would get all these Jewish meals, halal meals, and a Jewish rabbi would come and bless entire pallets full before they got put on the planes and sent to the Middle East.
Yeah, so you can buy holy water on Amazon, and I want to do it just to like. I think that's a funny thing to offer people.
It's a flex.
Yeah, it's like you drink that regular Deer Park stuff. Fiji, get on my
like
level.
Some priest that barely passed, like he just barely got his whatever priest getting it.
Yeah,
his whole factory room, like
his robe isn't quite as long as the other priest robes.
He's just walking down the aisle of this water factory.
He's doing the cross upside down. Hey!
How do you know? How do you know you're not good with you're not in with the Catholic Church? Is like they got you doing water duty.
Yeah,
go to the warehouse.
All right. Well, TJ. Again, I said, TJ, you started coming to our church about 6 years ago. Give us a little bit of your testimony and what the Lord's doing in your life. Tell us what the Lord's been telling you lately, man.
Well, the Lord, I was not slain in the spirit. Well, I've got to get to that stuff. That's pretty funny. But before that, I happen to know the management and part owners of MSA Production Studios. So,
what's that?
Mid-South Audio over in Milton. They are the concert venue recording studio.
Oh, yeah. They have a one in Milton, right?
Yeah. Well, that's my mom works there, and my brother is part owner.
Really?
So if you want to get a little in to make your own theme song, I know some people.
Pays to know people.
Where have you been?
I know, dude. We're like,
I didn't realize they were related to you. I've looked at them to try and do some stuff for our church.
Yeah,
I didn't realize they were. What you had said when the Nate Bargatze thing, they were doing some of that.
My
stuff.
brother did the sound,
but I didn't realize
for Nate
Bargatze.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh man, he did. Oh, Nate Bargatze did.
My
Saturday
face hurt
Night
so
Live.
bad.
I know he did.
He did Saturday Night Live.
I recorded it,
and I watched it.
It's the first time I've watched it in like 10 years.
It's the first time I've ever watched it.
I've never watched it.
I don't think Saturday Night Live was funny at all.
No,
but Nate Bargatze's on there. I'm like,
George Washington.
Bro, did you watch that? Dude, it was the funniest skit I have ever seen.
He's like, well, they'll be free. We're all men are free, right? You were talking about...
You asked about temperatures.
It was
we're all men will be free, right? You asked about temperature. He put his hand on his shoulder.
He goes, where 2,000 pounds will be called a ton. And what will be the word for 1,000 pounds? We won't have one.
Yeah.
Surely there should be a word for 1,000 pounds.
How many yards?
And yet we won't.
How many yards in a mile? Nobody knows.
How many liters? How many liters in a gallon? Impossible to tell.
Spell Fahrenheit. Impossible.
Bro, he's like, in football, where you score points by kicking. How many points? Sometimes 1, sometimes 3.
He goes, in football, he's a sport called football where you can throw it with your hands. Will there be any kicking? There's some kicking.
There's some kicking. Bro, that is the funniest skit. He's got some. There's like, I watched the episode already, and like he obviously has some other. There's other skits in there that are funny as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
The chef skit was pretty good,
dude. Yeah, the chef one. The chef one was so good.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The white boy one. Yes, I'm sorry. It's just like,
and he never broke his personality. The entire no skit. It was just
so that's his thing. He's talked about it on the on his podcast. Is he thinks that if you laugh while you're telling jokes, it's cheating.
Yeah.
Because if I'm telling you a joke and then I start laughing, laughter is like infectious.
Mm-hmm.
So you could tell a joke, and even if the joke's not that funny, if you're laughing, other people will start laughing. So he's like, dude, I'm a comedian. I tell jokes for a living. I want my jokes. Like, so he's like, he's like, if you laugh while you're telling jokes, then you don't do it right.
He's like, if you're working on a new hour, like your first 2 or 3, you might laugh at it because it's new to you too.
Right.
But most comedians have done that same set 60 plus times. It's not funny to you anymore.
Yeah. So you're just faking.
You're working on your technique, and then you're lying. Yeah. Exactly.
But Nate Bargatze, he's my favorite, and that's Saturday Night. Like I said, I've never watched.
Funny.
I've seen different little clips from Saturday Night Live throughout the years, but I've never watched Saturday Night Live. I've never cared about it.
Not missing much.
But I found out that he was hosting, and I was like,
DVR.
Well, there it is. I'm gonna watch. Well, I have Peacock. And all Saturday Night Live is on Peacock. So I was just like, I just scrolled to the episode.
I didn't know because I don't care.
So I recorded it, and then on the way home from Harry's wedding, that's when it was live. So I was a few minutes behind, but I skipped everything that he wasn't, like Foo Fighters or whatever that band was.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
I skipped it just to where he was, and it was funny. But that George Washington skit.
The George Washington skit is so funny.
Wrote this?
That's going to be one of the archived ones.
Yeah,
like that's a
genius. I mean, it was just genius.
Yeah, I don't think I'm sure he's going to talk about it on his podcast.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
I haven't. They did an episode on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay.
None of his shit's
cool.
actually made.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I haven't
listened to it. He'll talk about. They go through the whole week.
Oh yeah, dude. That's what I want to know. I want to know how the whole week
started
goes.
from Monday, and they broke down. Brian had notes because Brian went there at one point with him. And they
really?
broke down the whole thing.
And Brian's OCD, so he had all the details.
No doubt.
Very cool. Anyways, Nate Bargatze, great comedian. Look him up. He's funny. TJ, sorry, you were talking.
Oh, well, I interrupted myself with my sound producing brother. But we'll go all the way back. We're gonna make this as short as we can. My mother left when I was 10 months old, and my dad was struggling because he's a new dad. He's got 2 young kids.
I make mom jokes to TJ all the time.
I was gonna say, dude, this started off real heavy.
Oh, no, it's hilarious.
I work
ease into it at all.
TJ's a phenomenal carpenter. He works for himself.
Debatable.
We work together. We work a lot for the same company, and we find ourselves working with each other a lot. We're working with each other right now. I was working with him all day, but we go back all back and forth,
just ripping
all day. I'm stupid. It's because your mother drank when you were in the womb.
It's brutal.
That's aggressive.
It's brutal.
Oh, I'm just as bad. I mean, I pick on myself because of my.
Yeah, he doesn't pick on me because there's nothing to. I'm just joking. Go ahead. TJ fell twice on the job.
I did fall twice today.
I'll give you a list of jokes that you can fire.
He fell twice.
I burn him pretty bad.
What did you burn me on?
It's easy.
Dude, your face turned red the other day when I talked about your preaching without substance.
My face turned red?
Yeah, you did.
Dude,
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
No
Dude,
substance.
it was so painful you blocked it from your memory.
Are you kidding me?
Dang, that's crazy.
Denial.
Wow.
The
My
first
face
step's
turned red?
admitting you have a problem.
Okay, TJ.
Wow.
I don't even know what you're I literally don't remember it.
No, you really want to know how to make him mad?
I was bragging. I'm telling him like how good of preaching he's gotten, and I'm like, it lacks substance, but it sounds good.
I do remember that. I thought you were joking, so I know I didn't turn red because I thought you were joking.
I just told him before we started.
Now they know
recording.
you're serious. Whatever.
My friend's youngest, who's like 5, last night goes, "Hey, I enjoy most of your preaching," and I was like, "I didn't need to know that." Thanks,
little guy.
Yeah, all right.
Pat him on the head. Come on.
See you later.
It's like, oh, you're one of the smartest people I know. I need to meet more people.
Yeah,
no doubt. No, if you really want to make Cameron mad, just ask me the story of how I beat him at the arcade last weekend. So
that's false.
Look at him. See him?
Is that when he quit after he won? Or was that Dustin?
False.
No, he did quit. The one time he beat me in a racing game.
Literally, I did.
I'm done.
Go ahead, TJ.
And so it's not bad that my mother left, though she did do drugs and drink all the way up till she was 8 months
pretty
pregnant
bad.
with me. It's pretty bad. But no, had it not been for that, though, I would have. I mean, imagine being raised by somebody that's that horrible. Like I would have no doubt been in jail by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my dad is awesome. My dad raised me. He raised me very good with discipline. That didn't really stick very much, but he tried. No, he he did the best he could. You know, in the 80s and 90s, there wasn't exactly a whole lot of help for single dads.
Right.
You know, and so we were homeless for a short time, and then lived in a trailer where we could literally see the ground through the floor. I mean, poor
Homeless for a short time.
Yeah, a couple months.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Well,
homeless, that's pretty tough.
Well,
for any time.
A guy that my grandfather's best friend owned a house that was condemned because it was literally falling down, and no electricity or anything like that. And we kind of lived in the only room that was still intact.
Right.
And then it was wintertime, so the outside was our refrigerator. Like, you know, but I mean, to me, when you're a kid, you don't realize the gravity of it. My dad probably felt like a failure. I mean, it's because he was struggling so hard.
When does the sun come up in this story?
Oh,
man?
you'll see. So
it hasn't come up yet.
Does this story end in tears?
Again, he fell twice today.
Physically or spiritually?
Brain damage from the womb, maybe. But and I've got an older sister. She's 11 months older than me. So for 1 month a year, we're the same age. So we're Irish twins, as they call it. But as he started rebuilding, he got a job closer to here because we lived out in the middle of nowhere, which is nowhere to be if you're poor because you can't get what you need, and you have to spend money to get to where you need things.
Yeah, you
So
can't
it's
really
just-
stand up by the road and hold up a sign saying, "Please help," because
So, I
there's
mean,
no cars.
You drive 45 minutes to the grocery store to try to get groceries, but you've spent half your money in gas that you would have spent on groceries.
Right.
But because of that, I ate lots of deer meat when I was growing up. People would give us. We were the family that got the foods from the canned food drive. But after that, my dad got a job with a painting company in Baltimore that had a branch over here on the Eastern Shore.
Mm-hmm.
We moved over to Denton, which is where Dustin went to church at. And that's when things started to get better. We were still poor, but we were working our way up. We never looked poor. Like my dad made sure, he's like, we weren't dirty. We just didn't have money.
Right.
And he's like, my kids will never be called white trash. That was, his thing. And so I know that's a harsh word, but I mean,
Yeah, if Dusty Slay was here now, he would be able to comment on that and say, we looked poor. But
Yeah.
we were
yeah. He's the opposite.
Yeah.
I actually didn't get my first NASCAR shirt until I was an adult. So
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
it was a birthday present from my dad, and I might have worn it twice.
That's
work.
like a what's it called? A
rite of passage.
yeah, rite of passage there, man. Like, here it is.
But yeah, he just kept getting better and better to where he was like, whenever the boss was on vacation, wherever my dad became the boss. Like, so he did better. And even as a house painter, that's hard to make a good living. And he did, and so eventually in 2006, he was able to build his own house, which was a huge
That's
step
awesome.
up. Yeah.
Right.
Then the economy collapsed. He almost lost it, but everybody almost
Give
lost
the guy a break, man.
And it was
Hey, karma, quit.
But through all this time, I'm going through high school and everything. My last name's Cheezum, so obviously I had a hard time in school, which also forced me to get tough. You know what I mean?
I can see it.
A poor dude named Cheezum.
Poor dude with a NASCAR shirt.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Poor TJ.
Cheezum.
I mean-
Can't get away from that either. Like, like people talk about like what they're gonna name their kids, and like it's always like anytime someone's like, oh, we were thinking about naming our son this. I'm like, that's a terrible idea. And it was like, why? Because if I went to school with that kid, I would roast that kid. Like, that's how I think about names, but you can't really escape the last name. Like, that's just, it's with you for life.
It's kind of just dealt down to you.
Cheezum.
What is a T and J?
So my name is Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is
figured that out.
Tony.
Yeah.
So I'm Tony Jr.
Ah, okay.
So
TJ.
tracks.
Yeah.
but we
Anthony. Let's just put a T in there.
Yeah.
T.
like
Anthony.
everybody.
Call him TJ.
Yeah.
How about we call you RJ, David?
Why?
I don't know. Why not?
You don't get a T out of Anthony, so why
That's
not?
what I'm
get
saying.
Why not get an R out of David?
I mean, if you shorten it to Tony.
Yeah, we could shorten it. We could do 2 steps.
but now I have to do an entire
Anthony, Tony,
explanation.
Now let's go TJ.
So now I have an entire explanation whenever somebody has to ask my name.
No, it's good. I like. It's good. I don't want to talk about how much I like your name, but let's go. Let's move on.
And but yeah,
I love your name.
I made it through school. Everything was fine. My dad kind of instilled kind of toughness in me. It didn't work as a kid. I was a crybaby. I'm not gonna lie. But as I got through high school and stuff like that, it's like I didn't have a choice. It was either be tough or get beat up, and you know. So near the end of high school,
I understand.
People kind of grew out of the weird last name thing. So then that's when I started, becoming.
Did you beat anyone up in high school?
One guy who later became a friend. So
what you gotta do? That's what David would never hang out with me until I beat him up.
That's why you only see us together on the podcast. We still don't hang out.
High school. You went through high school. Weren't you
graduate
big in high school? Did you work out?
I did. I didn't get big, but I got strong, which really didn't work out too well because it didn't look strong, that whole wiry looking thing. Like,
dude, I understand.
I was leg pressing over 1,000 pounds when I was in 11th grade.
Bro, I get it.
But and then I blew my knee out, so now
I also understand that. Actually, that one's serious. I do understand the knee thing.
Not the pressing 1,000 pounds.
No, I mean legs was the thing I was the best at.
Oh, every day
when I was in the gym.
Every day is leg day.
It was the only thing I was naturally good at was legs, but I wasn't like pressing 1,000 pounds, but I understand the thing of like being in the gym consistently for like a year and a half and looking no different, but all your numbers go up, but you look no different. Mm-hmm. But more than that, I understand.
I was always good at thumb of war. I always stood out.
I was good with those little
fingers are so long.
Them little skateboards,
tech decks.
Oh, I did, man. They were big when I was in high school.
Dude, they also had like the little bikes. You remember the BMX bikes?
Yeah, I never.
Yeah. So cool.
I never did any good with those.
I wasn't good at any of it, but I just remember having them.
Yeah, but I had a bike. I just rode my bike through town all day, every day. So that's what got my legs strong.
I was supposed to say that's why you didn't bulk up. You're just riding bikes everywhere.
But and I was decent at baseball. I wasn't good by any means. I had a good arm, and that was it. Like I could catch and throw, but I couldn't hit to save my life. I didn't.
I could only throw. That was it. I couldn't catch. I couldn't hit.
Oh, I could. I was
still can't.
No, still can't.
Oh, poor guy.
In Little League, I was the center fielder. Like I was the one that could go get it and stuff like that.
I could run and get under a ball. If it's in the air, I can get under it.
It would just hit you in the face.
Yeah, dude,
of
I'm
the
not
glove.
catching it for nothing, but I can get under it.
Mm-hmm. It was gonna
slow it down.
It's gonna hit you.
Yeah,
Slow
dude.
it down.
One time
Save
it
that
did.
extra base.
One time I was playing second. That's why I like
Get in
second
front
base.
of it.
Second base. If it's coming at me 70 miles an hour, I can stop it. Like I can catch it. I can stop it. Infield makes sense to me.
Just taking bullets at the.
Well, no, like if it's coming at me fast,
And now you have time to pick it up and throw it.
I can. Well, if it's coming at me, I can snag it. If it's here, it's perfectly fine. I can track the ball. It's good. As soon as it's here, and I'm like, dude, my brain just turns off. And one time in a church softball game, we're playing in the rain, right? Which is I'm already not happy about it because the only reason I played softball was because all of my friends at church were playing. Not that I was good or I specifically loved softball, but all my friends are on the team. I want to hang out with my friends. I'm going to play. They got me at second base. It's raining. I don't want to be there. I'm not happy. Ball goes up. I look up, and all I see is because we're playing. It's at night.
Keep falling on my head.
All I see is the field lights and rain, and I'm just like
Getting hit in the eyeballs with raindrops.
yeah, and I'm like, dude, what am I looking at? I felt like I was in a Star Wars movie, and and like hit
warp speed,
bro, dude. And dude, I see the ball at the last second, and that ball says, "Boom!"
Are you kidding me?
Dead in my forehead.
Oh,
Didn't
my
even have a
goodness.
glove up.
Bro,
What, softball?
yeah,
Dude.
dead on my forehead, dude. I'm not even joking. I looked up. We're playing at night. All I see is spotlights and rain, and I'm like, dude, I'm squinting.
It's
and
a
I'm like,
ball as bright as the sun, and you
dude,
still miss it.
I cannot find. And then I see it at the last second, and
Did you
I'm
fall
like,
down?
no. I have a hard head. I just picked the ball up and I threw the guy out
He's
at
used
first.
to it.
Dude, did it hurt?
Huh?
How? Embarrassment kind of took the pain.
That's
over
for
it.
sure.
Was it a hard hit or was it like a pop up?
It was a pop up. It wasn't like
terminal
a. It wasn't
velocity,
like
though.
a,
You were playing second.
I was playing second.
Okay,
it was a pop
I'm thinking
up.
outfield. I'm thinking this guy just got
No,
bombed.
yeah. I'm playing second base. It goes up. I'm looking for it. I can't find it because rain's hitting me in my eyeballs. The field lights are on my. Can't see it. I see it at the last second. I'm like, there it is. and like my hand's like halfway up, and the ball just bow, dude. I'm talking dead forehead, dude. And obviously the guy at first base isn't running to second.
He's just standing there watching you.
Because he assumes if I'm on a softball team, I can catch a pop fly. Joke's on you.
You haven't seen a softball we play.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, guy. I have no idea how to catch a pop fly. Just smacks me dead on my forehead. I'm like, ugh. I pick the ball up and I just toss it to the shortstop. We get the guy out at second.
You got the guy out?
Not the guy who hit the ball, but
but you did get him throw a
the guy who was waiting.
He's waiting on first
way
base.
to not like get your brains knocked out. And then
the guy who's waiting
the
at first
wherewithal.
base isn't running, but it's just bro.
David, real quick, this is TJ's story. Go ahead.
Tell me you didn't enjoy that story though.
Like, hey, you know we're doing a podcast,
It's
right?
great. It's great.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, but no, high school I was a very below average student because, most of my life getting picked on, I'm like, oh, I want to try to be cool. So, it was always, trying to, I won't say a popularity contest, but I always wanted to try to, have people notice me instead of worried about what was important.
Right.
So, I mean, I passed, I got everything, but I definitely did not stand out anywhere academically at all. But got out of high school, joined the family business, building houses for a couple years, went to a Bible college where this is where the not slaying in the spirit happens. So we were...
but slaying was happening.
Slaying
it was the name of this college?
So there's a program called the Masters Commission. It's a nationwide program. I don't even know if it's still in existence, but it's all these Pentecostal churches across the country. It's all Church of Gods.
All right.
And
I'm in so
they
far.
started this. It's a discipleship program. So, because I had gotten saved when I was in 2003. The funny thing is, though, I got saved under the preaching and baptized by Dustin's old pastor at a totally different church.
The Nazarite?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a Nazarene, but he's preaching at a Nazarene church. So he was at Denton Wayside Church, which is at the end of the road where our church is.
Right.
Huh.
And I got saved there. And
so the jury's still out on your pending salvation.
Right. They kicked him out of the church because they have a board and everything. They voted him out.
Found out he wasn't a Nazarene.
What?
Well, this is Church of Christ and
you
Christian
cut your
Union.
hair.
They call it 3CU, Church of Christ and Christian. That's a mouthful. So it's the 3CU.
Ugh.
And his focus was on the youth group, which, as it should be, you want to grow your youth, get the youth in the community.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bunch of old heads at church. They don't like change. They don't like kids. It's like a dying church. So they got rid of them because they didn't like
just
having.
ensured that their death was.
Yeah, pretty much. They hated seeing a bunch of kids running around.
We don't want this to go on.
Best way
at
to
all.
kill yourself, kill your youth.
Yeah, and his oldest son is my age. Like, we were best friends. Like, I'll get into that later, but I mean, we were best friends for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it was neat. He baptized me. He gets kicked out of the church, goes to Denton Wayside, where he's the whole Collins and Sadoff crew.
Is he still there?
He's still there. Yep.
How old is he?
You talking about
The pastor.
the pastor? He would be around 60.
Okay.
Pastor Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so anyway, yeah, got saved in 2003. Went to the family business, did well with that. This Bible college is a discipleship program, 9-month discipleship program, where you just go around to you do actual Bible college courses. I got like 6 credits with all kinds of different biblical stuff that holds no value at all.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about how to argue against a Jehovah's Witness. And
I mean, that stuff's always fun.
it is. And the whole bunch Mormon. I learned a lot about Mormonism and all that stuff.
I've recently discovered I'm a debater, so.
Like you and I are very similar with the personality test, but in this, it's at a Church of God, so it's very Pentecostal, and we were
David?
We were doing a youth group thing, and the youth pastor at that, because the discipleship program would help with the youth group every week that we were there, because we would travel cross country and everything. So we're out there, they're doing the youth group, and it was the message was on being filled with the Holy Spirit.
Ooh.
And like we'd have prayer every day.
Did you get filled?
We'd have prayer every day for an hour, and my peers would be like, "Shibba and I should have bought a Honda," over and over, like for an hour.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm like, how are you just literally repeating the same syllables over and over again?
That would make me tired.
Saying absolutely nothing.
And they're walking around like they're praying all loud, just the whole time for like an hour. In reality, they didn't want to fall asleep because we were worked. Like it was a full-time job. You don't get enough sleep during the whole thing, community outreach and all that.
So they're just going,
They didn't want to sit down and pray and fall asleep because I fell asleep almost every day in that prayer.
Why didn't they want to? Couldn't they? Wasn't that
no, that was part of our
you couldn't fall asleep.
It was part of our
so
thing.
they're basically going,
we would pretty much blubbering. So
I got so good.
And like me and one other girl that's just really reserved were the only ones like not speaking in tongues and praying in tongues.
Were they speaking in tongues or were they just slurring their words because they were tired?
That's the same thing.
The answer is yes.
No difference.
The answer is yes.
Yes and yes.
And so we're doing this youth group service and he's talking about the gifts of the Spirit and all these kids are growing up. And I go up to the altar and I'm like, because I want this. I'm like, why is this not working? But I always had reservations. I'm like, I want this because it seems sincere, but something doesn't seem right about it. And the pastor's like laying hands on me and he's like shouting and sweating and all kinds of stuff.
Just like receive the Spirit!
Fire!
And it never happened. And I'm like the only one in the entire building not speaking in tongues.
It's because it's an emotional...
I've also been there.
They are literally pushed to a response and then they just start going and then
they're like, oh, I'm doing it.
It's fake. It's like
all the time.
It's just 100% fake and then no one wants to admit. It's like the prince who like that tale where they made him invisible clothes and everyone's like, yeah,
the emperor's new clothes.
Wow, look at those clothes, man. But he's just naked.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, no, he's not.
Yeah, I had a similar experience when I was a teenager. A friend of mine from school, he went to the Pentecostals of Dover, Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
He went to their church before they had the big building, and they used to have youth night every Friday night. And so he'd be like, hey, come over, we're gonna be playing a game or whatever. And I was like, sure, I'll go play games. So I would go to the youth night at this Pentecostal church, and the games were fun. They had like a ton of kids there. Like we had fun playing games, but every Friday they would do like a 15-20 minute like sermon thing, and they did they had a lock-in one weekend for like it was around Christmas time. So I went, we played games like all night long. I mean, like we were playing PlayStation, we were playing, tag, hide and seek. We were doing all kinds of stuff. It was super, super fun. Well, during like the service part, the one kid that my friend who invited me was like, oh, I want to speak in tongues. I want to be filled. And I was like, oh God, I'm good, bro. And the youth pastor there was like praying over him because he was like, I want to speak in tongues. This was the last time I went, by the way, because it got weird. And he was like, I want to speak in tongues. So the youth pastor's like praying over him, and he's got his hand on his forehead, and he looks over at me, and he's like, do you want to receive the gift? And I was like, no. And he was like, what? I was like, I'm good, man. Carry on over there. and then he was like, because like I grew up in a Bible believing church. I was just there to play games with my friends. Yeah. I don't believe like you guys. So he was just like, he's like, dude, you don't. And I was like,
well, you're not doing a good job giving it to him.
And I was just like, yeah, I was like, no, man, I'm good. Just carry on. Just let me know when we go back to hide and seek or whatever. And it was just real awkward. And that I was just like,
did your friend ever get the filling?
I'm gonna assume no.
Okay.
But I did that night. I was like, yeah, no, bro.
What's so stupid is like, do you want to receive the gift? There is no gift after salvation. Like,
yeah,
you receive like this all extra biblical, and I've never heard one person do what the Bible says and have an interpreter.
Like, God will put his hand on you if you're living right and have a personal relationship. But that's nothing to do with the Holy Spirit or being filled with.
What in the world?
Nobody obeys the rule. Even if it was still a thing today,
yes,
nobody
obviously isn't. It says tongue shall cease, prophesying shall cease.
It's all
there has to be an interpreter and all that.
Women keep silent in the church. They're not even allowed to speak in tongues.
And yet they're going running the aisles and flopping on the floor.
Hey, boo.
No, The dancing, like the shifty dancing. Have you seen this one?
Everyone's starting to do the little dancing.
The little, it's like their upper body is like
shuffle.
straight, almost like your river dancing. But it's
yeah, man. I do that when my food comes to the table.
It's all so fake. It's sad. Anyways,
so you were slain in the spirit. Continue.
So I got done that, and they wanted me to come back. I'm like, nah. So I went back to work with my family, and I
went back to work.
Right, and and then I went to Bible college in Ohio through that same church, 3CU church, and that's where I fell out, like, because as a young, not sound doctrine believing, Christian. And I go send out to Bible college where there's really no authority there, no pastoral authority. I had my schedule and that was it. We had chapel that we had to go to. And so without that discipline, I saw how other Christians were acting. And so I saw the hypocrisy, because that's a naive thing that when you're not living right and you see another so-called Christian do something, you're like, oh, that's not very Christian. When in reality, once you're saved, you're still a human being.
Right.
Right. And and it always makes, even now, people are like, oh, I go to church and everybody's judging me. I'm like, how do you know that when you go to the church, the person you think's judging you, how do you know it's not their first week there too? And they're might not even be saved. All they see is you're inside of a church building. You know what I mean? So as that immature young Christian, I saw that and I fell out, and I was out for 12 years, and I was as in the world as you can get. And, oh, got a wide angle there?
Just point it at him because he's talking. This episode's about him.
You see my good side? But
which side's that?
I don't have one. It's my less bad side, I guess. But so then after that, I went to that Bible college, lasted one semester. They wanted me to play baseball for them. But while I'm there, I paid my tuition. I did everything I was supposed to do. I even got a job there in the admissions office doing cold calls, which is brutal. And
I can imagine. You were one of those people.
Oh, I was not good at it. It was minimum wage, and it wasn't quite cold calls.
You were doing cold calls for the college?
For the college.
Just, hi.
Well,
do you want to receive the gift?
It was not
a gift that you yourself hadn't received.
It's kind of cold calls. So there's like, how you'll go to, like, say you're at Apple Scrapple Festival, and somebody will have a booth and you're like, oh, if you want information and you want to be put in this drawing, fill your card out and you could win. Right. Well, when they fill that card out, now that contact's there. So it was just piles of these cards from all these people that who knows if it was an event or whatever. And half of them probably didn't even remember filling this card out. And I'm calling the numbers on these cards, and most of them are like,
leave me alone.
Well, most of them were like middle school kids that just filled the card out, and their parents are like, my kid's not even in high school yet. Please don't call me again. And it was just brutal. There was a good one though. I called. I remember this from this day. I called this number, and it was a answering machine, and he's like, "Hi, you've reached Phil. Phil is not here right now. This is Phil's refrigerator. If you'd like to leave a message, I will write it down and stick it to myself."
That was it.
Like, write it down on a Post-it note. And the dude called back and ended up enrolling in the college.
He enrolled in the college?
He did.
Did you get like some kind of?
I've never heard of
Did you get like some kind of like commission off of this?
I got minimum wage for making calls. That was it.
That's it. So like, if you called a person and talked them into coming to the college, so what?
Well, and I don't know. That was the only one that even, mine. I only did this a couple weeks. Like, it was.
So
rough.
Phil showed up at the college.
Well,
at the Bible college. Like, that's what's so odd.
He had to enroll for the next semester.
Doing
so
cold calls for a Bible college.
Right.
That's like just calling the general public and asking, "Hey, you want to know about the Bible?"
Just about. And
we should do this at Heritage.
So apparently, I got a hold of the one guy one of the few guys that actually was interested.
And you guys are friends to this day.
I've never met
Phil,
the guy.
come on out.
And we have him right here.
Well, he called me. He called back like shortly after I called it because he didn't recognize the number. This is in the caller ID days,
right?
Not in the, And so he called me right back, and it was funny because I got picked on for a while by my coworkers he called and he wanted
This is a trend that continues.
Yeah, I was starting to notice.
And he wanted he was interested. He's like, yeah, I'd really like to go to college. And I'm like, oh, you would? Like, I was so surprised because it never happened before. You're not supposed to sound shocked.
Yeah. What?
You're like, wait,
are you serious?
Why are you so surprised?
How many people were in this college?
When
Two, him and Phil.
It
really had you duped.
It was a private Bible college, so there's a little over 300. The reason I even went there is because they wanted me to play baseball for them.
Oh, you were scouted.
I was
at
scouted.
what point in high school you said
Headhunters.
you weren't very good to where you're going to college to play?
Well, see, I did good in Little League, and then I did one tryout for baseball, and I went in cold. In Little League, I was pretty good.
They got your Little League tape.
That's what
all I did in high school was just the one tryout, and I got discouraged because the coach and anybody like Dustin probably still heard rumors about this guy. The coach, he only let kids on the team that came up in Denton Town ball. Well, our high school covered way more than Denton.
Snob.
And so we just got so discouraged that I just didn't play for so long. So that's why I wasn't very good, because I was just...
So you had the raw talent. Well, it just wasn't crafted.
Well, we would go to church camp. At the church camp we went to every year, I was the youngest to ever make the All-Star team. And I was in the All-Star team at church camp every year because we played against the counselors. And I was just dropping bombs. Well, it was a short field hitting up in the trees.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. You were dropping bombs.
We have very different stories. My story was me getting pegged by a pop fly, and he's like, I was beating counselors at 13. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, the
glory days, man.
The dean of the school was also the baseball coach. And
we've already established you weren't good at school.
Definitely was not good at school. The
Bible or baseball?
Yeah.
The college was affiliated with the camp. So all the counselors.
So you were being scouted every year at camp.
I didn't know it. So my pastor, he's like, hey, I need you to apply to Circleville. It was in Ohio. And I'm like, why? He goes, well, they want you to play baseball. So you're already accepted before you even fill it out.
David, how about we not do that anymore?
And that goes to tell you how bad their baseball team was.
Man, give yourself a break, TJ. Just say college baseball. That's it.
And sure, yeah, I was on the college baseball team.
That's it. Dropping bombs.
Done.
Yeah.
But I paid for my tuition, and then at the end of the year, into the season or everything like that, into the semester, in the fall semester, I couldn't get any financial aid. And it was $13,000 a semester.
Yeah, burn it.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket change.
So I just couldn't afford to go the next semester.
Then, I feel like for a Bible college,
oh, for sure,
that's super expensive.
It was pretty tough. And so
they were supposed to be paying for it though, because you're supposed to be playing baseball.
They were not accredited.
So did you keep?
They couldn't give scholarships.
So did you keep the $13,000 to yourself when you were talking to Phil? Were you like, oh man, just
yeah, Phil,
we'll figure it out.
Didn't say a word about that.
It was $13,000 a semester.
$13,500 per semester.
Oh my goodness!
And so I paid that, and then
how far has that gotten you in life,
dude? That's $26,000 a year.
The story gets
$26,000 a year.
The story gets
That's
worse.
Not good. That's high today for normal college.
Yeah, it's rough. Well, I will drop his name right now. Mike McLaughlin, the former financial officer.
Go get him. Hey, Finites, which is TJ coined that phrase. Go take this man's dignity.
It's not a very. I'm sure there's probably there's like 500 of Mike McLaughlin's.
Yeah,
all of them.
Burn them all down.
Find their houses and level them.
Well, he messed everything up. So I paid my tuition. The next semester, they become accredited and become Ohio Christian University. They go through their records. I joined the Marine Corps like a year and a half later, and I get a letter from a collection agency because I didn't pay my tuition.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
I'm like,
I will kill that man.
And so I followed all the routes and avenues to try to.
Ohio, what is this university?
OCU.
Right now it's Ohio
Christian University.
Let's see if it exists.
And so afterwards.
Teacher's lying. What?
And they're like, you didn't pay your tuition. I'm like, what? So I followed the avenues to try to get it settled legally. Everything is named something different.
So that's
sounds like
the main reason I go by TJ and not Tony.
So I am literally
sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
I'm literally in Iraq on deployment, getting money taken out to repay this loan that I had already paid. So I paid twice for one semester that didn't get me anywhere.
Yeah, bro. I think you got scammed.
Yeah, bro.
It was bad. Well, he got fired. Like he did it to a bunch.
What
of
about
people.
arrested?
Right?
Like,
well, it was clerical errors that they couldn't. Yeah, it was messed up.
Is this the same?
It's in Circleville, Ohio.
There.
Is it Circleville, Ohio?
I mean, I don't know, man.
It's on Lancaster Pike in Circleville, Ohio.
Let's look at the faculty.
Mike McLaughlin is gone.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh, he got fired.
You already took care of him?
Like he got fired he got fired that semester because it was me and like 26 other students that he hit for that. They got all messed up.
So what is this college? Is it just Pentecostal?
No, it is not Pentecostal. It is closest to like a Methodist church.
Oh, okay.
Like it's New King James is generally what the Bible that they would use. Like we actually had a quiz night, a Jeopardy.
Oh, there's baseball. They brought it back.
Hey.
Oh, they had baseball the whole time. It was just terrible.
Is the picture of TJ on there?
No, never will be.
Alumni. No.
But the very next semester when they became accredited, apparently, now I wasn't there. Apparently they start giving out scholarships. So had I hung around, and I was 2 days late for the Delaware Tech tryouts for baseball, I was so mad.
You were 2 days late?
2 days late.
How'd you mess that up?
Because I came from Ohio and had decided to register in school. So by the time registration was done, I'm like, hey, when's baseball tryouts? So they're like, oh, it was yesterday. And then when I started school was the day after. I was so mad. But I wasn't supposed to play baseball. As simple as that.
I guess not. Apparently, never mind. I was making a softball joke, but
I can't play softball.
I'm not good. TJ does our softball at our church. And you are good at you are good. So don't.
Nah, I don't know about all that.
You hit a lot of home runs. So that's your pre-military days.
Yep.
You left a lot out though.
Well,
there's a lot of trauma and a lot of heartache and a lot of stuff that's
there was, but
that he left out, which is you can't say everything, but yeah, TJ's been through a lot. Anyways, the military days. We should just I don't know if Dustin's gonna come or not. So let's just go right into your military career, and we'll make this 2 episodes if we have to.
That's fine.
Well, let's.
Have anybody got a hold of Dustin? Has anybody?
Not yet.
I don't think anyone's tried. Our phones are over there.
Yeah.
Should I call him and put it on here?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see if it works. You ready to play your music?
It's not going to come through. He's not Bluetooth connected.
That's true.
But you're going to do it anyway. Yo, he just straight up ignored
it. It didn't even ring.
It didn't ring? I thought it rang.
Well, it was like
his
it wasn't
phone
even a
is
half
on.
ring.
It's on silent. It's always on that do not disturb. It always just goes right to it.
What a loser.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, I mean, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Just keep talking.
I can do that.
I know you can. I know you can.
And we're going to cut this into 2 episodes?
Well, I mean, he has a lot more to talk about.
Which is fine. All I'm saying is I'll just stop and then start a new video.
Sure.
That way.
Sure.
If we're going to do 2 episodes.
Well, then let's take a break.